to check in our thought and to defining for a healthy alignment, learning unhealthy way so that we can use our personal power to choose for a better in wherever you are at your own better in or own creation. So for this Valentine's week, I was talking about um, this week is good to embody that love, any kind of love, and to invite in new love or deepening the love to significant others or a friend, anyone that who you care about, and to just embodying it and to make it better in. It's always starting from self love, peace also. So everything is starting from within us, and the world around us is the reflection of what we have within. And sometimes it's very personal work that we each have a unique way of experiencing this life since we arrived on this body. And so we are the only one person who is absolutely knowing about what's within, and sometimes we have hidden agenda as a natural that to be unable to see ourselves because we all have a blind spot, just like we are unable to see our physical presence without a tool to reflect ourselves. So in our world it is also like that, and it wouldn't be nice to have that neutral something that can deflect us as in a mirror so we can take a look at what we are thinking and feeling, perception, perceiving non-physical part of ourselves. So that's one of the reasons that I'm using this card is one of my tool to reflecting what is happening within me at this present moment as a tool to get to know more about self, because we are all changing, growing, evolving all of that time. So hope you can use this moment for yourself better in and learn more about yourself. And that's my intention, and I'm so grateful for if you use that to get a moment for your better in like that way as a tool, because I want you to believe in yourself, and you are the most knowledgeable person about yourself, of course. But it's always nice to have tool to reflect in for self, for choosing to better in. Once we become aware of that, it becomes an opportunity to change and for which direction consciously choose for better aim. So that's the conscious living participant. I hope you are also in that way. If you're not, well, it's okay. I mean, it's a human gift to use that. Consciousness is only a 5% of a system as a human being, that rest of 95% is subconscious and conscious. So we are autopilot in order to do many things, to being productive, to grow, to create many other things. However, when we want to change for something, and then sometimes that repeating pattern, the default created pattern supporting autopilot is challenges us, like the things that become habit, autopilot, the eating pattern, or smoking, for example, drinking, or some pattern, repeating actions becomes a behavior. And as long as we become aware of that, that's the beginning to change it. But sometimes that the pattern of thinking and invisible realm, like a mindset, repeating way of thinking. It's very difficult to identify because it's hard to see what is healthy and what is unhealthy because we are so intimate to ourselves. And so, educating and learning some tool to reflect and where we are, this particular way of thinking is healthy or not, and then we can know where we are as a not person, becoming a better person, growing person. And you know, I would like to believe in what we believe in, you believe in what you are believing, the value. And what's the clue would be like, if you want to have something better and repeatedly, you know, thinking the same way, and then you need help. And sometimes it's the positive thinking is not helping because the positively positive, just repeating. And then if it's repeating, then you're going to have problem. The idea is to find a way to align to the better self. So you need to deal with that, finding solutions and to becoming that person who is aligning to that solution. So yeah, that's the so that's why, the positive way of aligning is good, but negative is also needing, because the negative aspect is telling us what will be the better for the next. Without negativity and ignoring it, and then it's not gonna happen, because we got to acknowledge it, know as is, and then to choose for ideal. So that positively positive sometimes just a bandage for the negative. But you know what? Is that healthy that sun shining all the time and no rain? Or it's always the sky is the blue and no night, like a dark, bright. So we have both yin and yang. It's not good or bad. How we're going to use the both side to align to the ideal, which is the loving, happy, peaceful. That's what the feeding emotion is telling us, you are on the right path. So they allow the emotion as a guide to check your way of thinking healthy, and then unhealthy, become aware at this point, and then to adjust. This is like a building the muscle to notice and decide that non-physical part of our human beingness. So I'm talking too much. Hi, good morning, how are you? Happy Valentine's Day. So this week's reminder for Valentine's Day, actually, here is tap. Looks like a lower chakra. Let me put glasses on. Ah, healing anger. Healing anger. The first energy center, root chakra, color red. It's about grounding. Thank you for the heart. It's the oh, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. So the color red is really good for the Valentine's Day. It's the heart. It's about connection with the mother, and then being part of the community, society, and feeling being belonged to. So the smallest unit would be the family, and feeling safe, survival. Um, in this physical body, live life. That's what the energy center, in conjunction with the anger, which is the one of the five human basic emotions. love, joy, fear, anger, and sadness. And then anger is so called the negative emotion, but it's not good or bad. It's just a negative emotion. So bringing informations and telling us that what would be needed for bettering. So here is unhealthy thought. This is a reminder for all of us. Hi, Mel. Happy Valentine's Day. So, healing anger, root chakra. People need to control me and make demands. People need tend to control me and make demands. That's interesting because we talked about relationship with the mother, which is the grounding. This is actually the root chakra, the trust to self and feeling safe, survive, and feeling belong to the relatedness with the mother. The first caregiver figure relatedness is really holding the key to this energy center, the health, and then also connection to earth too. And this is the healthy thought is I skillfully act on my ideas and visions, and I free myself from emotionally distracting influences. I skillfully act on my ideas and visions, and I free myself from emotionally distracting influences. This is so interesting. Thank you, Mel. Um, this is like, as I mentioned, the mother child relatedness, and I needed to talk to my mother this morning, and then it's really like refreshing that relatedness, and I'm just practicing unconditional love no matter what, but this I skillfully act on my ideas and visions, and I free myself from emotionally distracting influences. And then the first person popping up in my mind is my mother. So how I was given the lessons to emotional distract because we are so close. It's like psychically connecting, especially mother and children. So that's how interested in to pick this card for Valentine's Day. So here is what Dr. Mona Lisa needs to add on this healing anger 16, page 16. Hmm. Thank you for the hearts. So when it comes to accomplishing a goal, no one can create or live alone in a vacuum. As they said, it takes a village. However, creating within a community involves being available to someone else's input. Sometimes a mentor or colleagues will generously support our ideas, and at other times they will be at odds with us. Maturity involves developing the capacity to simultaneously respect our own basic values and be receptive to others' opinions, but not be controlled or manipulated by them. Oh, this is a great reminder, actually. Yeah, it's indeed requires maturity, isn't it? And then it comes back to the self love, the self value, especially people who are empath, and then to think about the harmonies in being part of that as in a community, as a unit, as in a friends or family or any kind of group work, and to co-create with others. And some people are very open and knowing that this is what I need to say, and then that's okay if you don't agree with it. And some people are like, if I said so, and just considering about how they perceive me, that comes back to that self-esteem, the self-love, and to trust in self and to respect others. And at the end of the day, this is my idea, this is his idea, her idea, their idea. That's okay. There's no agreement, but finding some mutual point. So the emotional detachment to that need really a secure love to self and love to own value, like taking care of your own needs as an very important person, VIP, because that's indeed you are the most important person in your life. But we need one another to co-create something that if we would like to create. So again, that respect others, no need to be controlled. um I was watching some TV series. Probably I told you about that. Industries. That story is featured in the industry that I've been in as my career building era. That is an advertising. And as I said the other day, that I found so many elements watching it instead of like watching the series from lawyers or doctors in the hospitals, or all these series, right? And then advertising is like so familiar, and it's so detailed, is like a universal common industry, like a pulse. And then what I was gonna say, I kind of forgot about it. But anyway, so the trust in self is like at the conference room, you gonna present your ideas to the client's needs, which is advertising ad or campaign or whatever. And everybody comes to the ideas and present at the conference room. That I was the only one woman in the conference room. It's like, can you visualize like a 20 of them? It's all like a old man, and then I'm the only female, and then being asked to present. And then what I remember when I was back in like a 20 something, I was like a very new to that agency. And it's okay, this is the nature that loudest voice, the person with the loudest voice presented, and it's get the goal. It's like, and then that is still here in this country. It's not that so much of agreeable because of its genius. Yeah, it's genius or making sense, but it's like, it's some sort of like a political um behind it, but and then I needed to laugh at that the similar particular scenes that often see in that series drama. So yeah, and it's the about and then some people are very open, and that is okay. But when I was there, I needed the strong courage to speak out, and especially my self esteem got shredded. Like I had a self-esteem shredder in my family, which is my father. But so it's like very shredded, and is always scared to speak out own voice. But I don't look like that in that presence. I've been perceived them as a full of confidence and young, and then my voice travels farther away. So it's like they have no idea that I have no confidence within. But I was like that. I needed to deal with the gap between what I was and then the world around me. But anyhow, so that self love and confidence, and it took me so many decades, so many decades. Now I'm 50, over 55, and then I feel comfortable, and it's okay to speak out, and then that's fine, no agreement. But I could openly say, thank you, I love you, please forgive me, thank you, and then keep as an friend. That requires maturity. And when I was in that agency back in 20 something, I was like so stressed out. And when I go, I needed to go to a business trip for overseas, and carrying so many clothes with so many shoes, and people perceive me as like, oh my goodness, she's carrying so many suit with the different colors of the shoes to go with just only like a couple of days trip. And people laugh at me, but it's not that. The reason I needed to carry so many shoes is that because I'm so stressed out for the presentations in a business meeting, because I was the only one female, and then so nervous, as like inside out was completely different, and then I needed to make up to build a career. And then my body got so stressed out, and then my shoe got stinky toe. Stinky toe makes my shoe make it so stinky. So that's the reason I needed to carry so many shoes for that reason. But people have no idea why I'm carrying so many shoes. But anyway, so that's yeah, that's the reality. And yeah, I can imagine when you become stronger and more yeah, it's hard to sure, but it's just mhm. Yeah. So, and then and then you when you keep doing what you've been doing for long enough, and then that develops. But that time is the break point, and that that's natural break point. But that applies to everyday life. And then what I learned is that something really special for us, it's precious, like we really do care about, like um like a position of the job, or someone who really care about, or like a significant others, that to really want to make the relationship deeper, or make it, bring it into the special. And then we do care about that, is making it more harder to open up. But um it's good to open up at the very beginning as much as we can, unless otherwise we never get the second chance to change our first impression. So be ourselves, and that is the practice to feel comfortable with our own skin. And then we grow and experience different things, and then debating, oh, this comes up in that particular you know moment, to ask something, or to be rejected, or whatever. So we need to connect the world around us, and there is a people, human being, persons require. And then of course that the friend could support, but sometimes it's like they are not supportive in in a way. So excuse me, I got allergy. So again, the this week's today's reminder is healing anger. Healing anger. Unhealthy thought again is, people need to control me, tend to control me, and make demands. If we are unable to speak out, and then we feel like we got to listen to them, and I feel different way, I think different, but it just not seeing us like, do I need to be following their idea, the struggle. So the healthy thought is, I skill free act on my ideas and visions, and I free myself from emotionally distracting influences. So I think I learn with the people at the work to openly connect, but I'm still challenging with the family member. I think the family seems to be very the deeper lessons there. like to expressing own self, because they like a siblings too, like they knew for long enough like the childhood, and then I became a different person, so has everybody, become a different person. Then they see us through the old mirror or old glasses or their perception, so that gap, it sometimes make it harder. Yeah. So, and then what I learned works for me and my mother is that I take a deep breath, and then I just take a moment to become her, like a mediumship skills, that to okay, she already became over 80s, must be hard to think in a quick way, and it's like it just to become her, and my mind, she's still young, like perhaps younger than me. So that's the adjustment I really need to physically when I dialoguing with her with something like easily get triggered to screaming with one another. And so yeah, that's the reminder. So if you feel like being controlled by a partner, any kind, or family member or friend, the we got to work and protect our own feeling and own idea on behalf of our spirit. And then if we are not doing it, who's going to take care of our spirit, our soul's urge? So we got to use whatever the skill we gained so far to voice out or act out, or to connect, finding the balancing point in and Yan and their idea, his idea, her idea, and my idea, and then not blending. Fine, let's find some nice taste of blending one. Unless otherwise, we better think about that. you know so that could be a good, like at the Valentine's reminder, that no need to be control, and that's unhealthy, being control. If we feel that way, maybe the other person has no idea, but we got to speak out if we feel that way. Okay, wait a second, do I need to follow that? Because I feel uncomfortable being following that, because I have a feeling for so and so and so. Our mothers had a full lifetime before her. Yeah, so we can always understand where they come. Yeah, as you only know them be in the role as a mother. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So and then the learning, and then it's natural to against the ideas, if and if we are so connecting and so margin with the parents, it's unhealthy. As a human species, we need to start the own family in order to do that. You get to out the nest, and then so that is the natural part, that disagreeing, and then the unconditional love to tide, and then to various, we had to follow our instinct. hmm so yeah, look at the other creatures, like some creatures are like being kicked out by a mother, or just in a way that unable to go back to the original family. A human being, it's just like, you know find a way. So, would you like to pick the reminder card for the Valentine's Day or this week? Exactly. Siblings. I'm so not good at siblings, especially Most of my siblings reside in this country. Oh, eight. Okay. Sonia. Okay, eight. Yeah. And most of my adulthood, I was residing in California. So it's a totally different way look at life as an adult. And sometimes it's very difficult to understand. They see me as a little army, 1 digital years old. So, okay, Sonia, eight. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Four for male. Okay. So for Sonia, healthy goals. The sixth energy center, which is the here, third eye, color indigo, perception, intuition, intellect, brain, that's the energy center. In conjunction with the goal, healthy goals. So let me share unhealthy thought first, and then the healthy thought, and then let me go scan your energy, and then come up with some reminder might be helpful for this day, Valentine's Day, or and then this week. Actually, we expect a full moon this week. So unhealthy thought is things should be different. Life is unfair. That's unhealthy thought. The healthy thought is I now observe my life from a broader, objective perspective so I can give birth to healthier relationship and career situation. So let me go scan your energy, Sonia. Okay. Okay. I see you as very grounding, down the earth, and then I feel comfortable with that. And I see you as a very creative person. It's like a naturally creative aspect is active, which is nice. A little bit of emotion kind of overwhelms sometimes, but I think I like the way that you manage your energy right now. So in conjunction with this goals, um creative people is really like the second chakra, and then the third eye is really connecting. It's the creativity, where the creativity comes from. It's like, in that zone or some channeling or whatever, for the music or writing or visual, whatever, that to create, but actually it's the opposite, created something to bring that out from within you. And intuition is like allow that to come, it's more effortless, so effort to create or effortless to bring that in. But to I think your connection with the creativity and your intellectual perception, perceiving information and noticing as an intuitive insight is really a very active. So I now observe my life from a broader objective perspective so I can give birth to healthier relationship and career situation. So the unhealthy thought is life is unfair. And yeah, indeed, life is unfair, and each one of us is different, and then especially like the creative and then the intuitive, the both package is very difficult to finding their own voice to feel comfortable as an center, and then connecting with the world around. So then noticing the way of others are getting might be, like the grass always green at the next door. That's the universal common sense. So it's like bringing all that creative self into your own goal. And then this is the goal, like the healthy goals, and give birth to healthier relationships and career. So let me, the Olympic game, if you are checking or what, I'm not sure, but their inspiring aspect I've been watching each day is that the Olympians, like a gold medalist, they are the highest achiever of their own goals. Some athlete that works for the unity, the for representation of the countries, but I just put that aside. But to own chosen goals, and their goal is not the gold medal, but their goal is to being in the highest, greatest self achievement, and then that consequence of that result is the middle. So that inside out approach, that healthy goal, would be really good to think about. The third eye is the perception to think about the goals instead of competing, even in the competition. But we can use the competition as to bring in ourselves more higher. And the goal is to achieving the own highest good. So hope that this reminder might be helpful for you to. I feel that something is just in there for you, and it's a great solid bottom to start as a new. So it might be helpful to remind yourself when you set the next goal, and to achieve something your own better, highest, the greatest good, instead of like go for better something outside to reach. When we become that person and the world around comes to us, I'm sending healing and sending much love for this Valentine's Day to your creation. Thank you for allowing. You're welcome, Sonia. Thank you for allowing. So the male, four for male. Yeah, it's the always. Thank you, Mel. The goal setting is sometimes it's very hard, and then what I was inspired by listening the medalist, like a high achiever, and then especially like the categories, the game, which is like a well developed the game, just like figure skating, for example. The snowboarding, there's pretty new category, so it's quite a different, it's more challenger spirit is there, but it's very developed category. There are like so much history and structures and coaches, and it's very interesting to observe these who's getting a good coach. Having a good coach is amazing. It's the mindset, and then the physical body, and the goal setting. In conjunction with the goal setting, I was inspired listening that the gold medalist was saying, this is the middle, this is the on my way to better in, and I am unsure what's my next goal is, because they already achieved the gold medal. Um but I am on the way to, growing. It was so inspiring. It's still, these kids are like a 20 some year old. Like, oh my goodness, old soul. Like, very established human being, I must say. I was so inspired by listening what they are saying about the interviewer asked him, "So what's your next goal? You already got silver, you got gold medals, and what's your next goal? These interview, these questions are deserving more definement, But sometimes it's the Olympian gives absolute amazing answers that inspires us too. Hello. Okay, for Mel. One, two, three, four. Here's for Mel. Hey Leslie, happy Valentine's Day. Here's for Mel. Healing sadness. The throat chakra, color blue. It's about express self authentically in conjunction with the sadness. It's the one of the five human basic emotions: love, joy, fear, anger, and sadness. So, unhealthy thought first. Even if I speak my mind, it never changes anything. So why bother? That's unhealthy thought. The healthy thought is I now effectively communicate the clarity in my mind to everyone around me. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like this is like the series of the work you've been working on, Mel. That's what I perceive as an energetic component. So, okay. Okay, so I see your energy, Mel, today as a very practical side is more in the center. Um, Maybe it's like a left brain organizing, making sense, is needing to be in charge for what is you feel about you natural self. It's more practical side is in taking the dominant. Um, and in conjunction with the sadness, that sadness, it's like a black and white, dark and bright, whatever, which is like see and so. I'm just tired of about dealing with it. So why bother? Just step back off a little bit and then observe and dance under the moon is gonna be full soon. That's what the energy I'm getting, Mel. So here's the Valentine's Day that voice out is really hard, need a energy. Okay, they're hard. And sometimes we can use this energy. No need to speak towards some particular person or people, but use that energy to create some art, the voice of the painting or photo, or to make that energy outside from your beingness. It's the listenable or viewable, seeable, eatable, anything that to we can sense it would be helpful, because I think idea is to let this energy, the voice, out from your beingness. No need to be the word directly delivered to the particular person, but you may want to create something that your voice, then let that out and share with the others, or just to put it on your wall, or anything that you can seeable, viewable, listenable form would be change the state you feel good about, because holding that energy within is unhealthy. It's heavy. Yeah. and share with us in a way that is the anger or sad and then I think you feel good about yourself doing something for your voice in some form. So I'm sending a healing, and your voice does matter, and people can get benefit out of that. And just a reminder that that form is anything in the shareable manner. And look forward to connecting with your voice and your experience through your creative expression. And lots of love and heart to your Valentine's Day. Thank you for allowing. Thank you. Thank you. But I understand that if you have no energy, like willingness to create even that, and then like what you do as an stream in the nature, just to connect in nature, and maybe your voice, how you're gonna connect to the voice or getting what you are getting from the nature around, and your voice with the live streaming would be a good way to share too. And then that's very special way of your creative expression, like talking with the nature and delivering that your feeling emotions. And that could be effortless expression of your unspoken hidden voice. Yeah. And then I really enjoy you doing it. You're talking with the nature, and then your voice and the whole package through the streaming. I really love that. It's very cleaner energy and open up and then connect with some part of the earth that is not available near me but near you. And that reminds me of like we're on the same mother earth. So that really feels good. And then I know that I'm not the only one feeling that when I'm connecting your broadcast. So yeah, thank you for doing that. And then that could be a good tool for you to expressing that, you know emotions. You're welcome. Thank you. So Leslie, would you like to pick the card? I got 8 minutes here to close in. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Blessings to you too, Sonia. Yeah, and then speaking of that series of advertising agencies, TV series, drama episode, I completed a whole series. And then you know what? Amazing synchronicity came last week that I was like at the very last episode of season 7, the final episode. The the man who's in the creative advertising agencies, that person in the stories in the New York City's advertising industry, and then somehow related to California, and then happened to go to the spiritual retreat in California. It's Big Stir. It's a story back in like 70s, like a hippies and then all this Vietnams and all these are happening in the states, and then San Francisco and Northern California and Big Sur Coast is such an a spiritual, like a hippie-ish energies, all very active back then. And then I was watching the final episode, and then the person who's in the whole, the story happened to be unplanned, but going to the spiritual retreat with some kind of not the siblings, but so join her because she needed to go to the retreat, and then he decided to join her to go there for the weekend. And I was like, this place is very looking familiar. And that's exactly the spiritual retreat that I go every year for straight 10 years in Big Sur. And then I did the training for my practical intuitions and energy and healing every single summer for a straight 10 years. I was like, oh my God, isn't this true? And so the synchronicity is that because I was watching particular one and then find out that's the industry I was in, the story, and then at the very last episode, the the guy was taken into the spiritual retreat, which actually it happened to my real life because I decided to leave that industry. I was on the edge what I'm gonna do, in the late getting into 40s, right? So I got the career and I knew that it's not gonna excite me anymore. And then so I didn't even know the spiritual journey or anything. I'm just a totally square business lady, making a deal and talking about business idea all the time. And then so I happened to be in the retreat because I wanted to train my intuition for practical use. And then I was watching the Oprah Winfrey show when I was in California, and there's a lady who just released a book called Practical Intuition. And then she said that you are the psychic. Everybody is. I can train you how you can do it. That was like, whoa, this is my teacher. And then I went to the bookstore and bought the book several years ago. And then I was like, okay, so I left agencies, and then I think I want to train my intuition, and I want to visit that teacher. I was studying her book and all that for years, and then I got to visit her to check her interest to do some business in Japan. That was my intention, and she's supposed to be in New York City because she's in New Yorker, and then I check her website and then found that she teaches once a year in California. That's it. So okay, I was living in California, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna visit her in the summer when she teaches. So I'm gonna go to her class and then ask her interest to do some business in Japan. That was my whole intention, right? And then so I signed up a class and then had no idea where the spiritual retreat in Big Sur, and I didn't even care about what the Big Sars and all that. So I booked out, everything, and then it's exactly like that TV, drama was like that. It was like a synchronicity. Whoa! And then life changed actually from there. Um, Hi, hello. And then when I was watching that final episode last week, my teacher started to teach again after this pandemic. And then normally she teaches in the summertime because I went summer every summer. But this time, because of this pandemic, schedule is kind of changed. And then she's teaching actually, and I was joining her. She's sharing all the live streaming from the facilities, and then I'm so familiar because I've been doing with her for over a decade every year. So it's like, wow, what a synchronicity, And it was like, oh, this is the place that I'm just into the new life, and then exactly what the series says. So I'm just digesting the meaning of the synchronicity that I came from the business, and then on the edge, being taken to that spiritual retreat, and then my life completely different, but from that was actually back in 2004. And then I've been doing that until 2014. And then that TV series episode, that last episode, was shot in that exact same retreat called SLN Institute 2 months before my last visit there for the class. Oh my goodness, energy healing and stuff. Happy Valentine's Day! EGA, hi, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, so I felt like, whoa, this is something synchronistic, and I'm still digesting it. I just wanted to share with that. So when it comes as an asynchronicity, there's a many different type of synchronicity. When you ask for sign and then sign comes up, or out of the blue, just like my experience watching the content was totally in line, and then I take it as an, okay, here is where you are, what you were, and what do you want to do from here. That's like a clarify my journey and synchronizing it at this point. So, become aware of it and use it as your own power to create something better from the co-creation with the universe. I mean, the synchronicity is amazing. So I said to my teacher, send it as like amazing synchronicity. It's like a power free sparks our intention creation and healing and oneness, because which is, we are all connected after all, interconnected. So happy Valentine's Day and thank you for connecting. I think I need to close here now. Thank you. Recognize the synchronicity. Yes, recognition and awareness, because synchronicity is always out there. And choosing what your intentional creation is, holding the key for that. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm sending lots of love and healing energy to your day and week. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for leaving the heart and the tweet from Twitter. Oh, by the way, I actually opened that what is that called? Oh, YouTube channel. And this is the first time I am connected to the new YouTube channel. So if you are open to that, please leave the heart or subscribe there too. That would be really helpful. There's only one person subscribing, which is me, another account. So yay! Thank you. Bye.